Frederick County Public Schools. And Sharice Woodward, Sharando High School. All right. The envelope, please. And this year's winner, first ever winner of this prestigious award, please give it up for Shane Coleman.
I'm used to talking in front of teenagers, so excuse me, adults scare me. So, yeah, So, thank you for this. I can't take all the credit. I have a great team that's behind me at Clark County. I work with some great CTE teachers. So I appreciate this. I appreciate the chamber for the award. I am very short and brief and to the point. So thank you again. And if you ever need anything from Clark County Public Schools, please reach out. So thank you.
I'm going to go off script for a moment. So 50-50 tonight is the proceeds are going to continue to build the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber Foundation's Educational Scholarship Fund. And this just really evolved this year, and we want to really build this, so we're asking all the business community to get behind this. It started with one of our high school's DECA clubs coming to us and asking if they could come to one of our mixers and get to know some businesses. They need sponsorship. I've lost count, but I know there's at least 18, I think, from one of the schools going to an international competition for DECA. And we have, I think it's 7 or 8 different organizations within the schools that are helping develop our students in business skills. And so when they came to us about that, we thought, you know, this is something we really need to get behind. We need to get the business community behind these students. They have to earn all of their own money, and I think it's over $1,400 per student to go to this international competition this spring. And so we want to try to help support them, help make sure that these students are able to go and develop their skills. So if you haven't bought your 50-50 tickets, please get in there. Let's get this foundation filled up.
Where can we do that?
So Danita is in the back of the room. She's ready for you.
All right.
I think we're up to, what are we up to, about $800 in the pot right now. Our goal was like get it up to $2,000 so that we'd have at least $1,000 to refill. We did, actually, thanks to the executive committee of the chamber, we did have $500 that we had collected pre-pandemic that is going to one of the high schools to help support them this year, but it's not enough. We need to do more. So
all right,
take it away, Lisa.
I've got my 20, Danita, so I'll come get my 30 tickets here. So make sure you guys go see her in the back there and get your tickets for that. So. All right, so next is our 2022 Emerging Leader Award. So this is going to recognize an outstanding young person who's demonstrated strong leadership potential. This person under the age of 40 is employed by a chamber member organization, has worked in the local business community for at least 3 years, has been active in the community during that time, worked towards developing their leadership skills through personal or professional development. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome last year's winner, Emerging Leader of the Year, David Kent of Signet Marketing.
Thank you for that warm introduction. I do not need this, so I'll figure out how to stand here. So this past year has been one of the best years of my life. My wife and I had our 4th child, finally got a daughter. So it was a very, very good year. And second was being awarded this award last year. So I just want to tell you a brief little story about what Winchester means to me and why this community is so important to me. I grew up down in Northern Virginia, and when my parents moved out here, I had already left and joined the Marine Corps. So I left out of Vienna, Virginia, where I was born. And when I went over to Iraq and Afghanistan, we were getting care packages, and a lot of my friends never got anything, so they would get no packages. So we were out in the middle of nowhere, so for 7 months, they'd get nothing. So I complained to my dad about that, and he said, we'll fix it. I can tell this community is already going to stand behind it. We'll fix it. So within a matter of a week or two, a great deal of the people that are sitting out in this room here today started sending hundreds and hundreds of care packages to myself and to people I served with. And I'm not saying anything bad about Northern Virginia, but I just don't see that happening down there like it happens out here. So that is, to me, what this community means to me. It continues to set the bar high for what I want to achieve and to be a leader in this community. So I want to thank all of you for continuing to set that bar high and continuing to help. So for this year's nominees, if you would please stand as I call your name. The nominees for the Emerging Leader Award are Lauren Gwynn, Katie Landy Jordan, Sergeant Chaz Nang, Corey Seymour, and Hannah Stewart. And the envelope. 2022 Emerging Leader of the Year, Katie Landy Jordan.
Oh, wow. Thanks. This is like the third time I'm crying today already. Thank you so much. I'm honored, really. You know, recently I was at Espresso Bar with someone who had never come to Winchester before, and I introduced him to Lenita, and she said, well, I know because you're here with Katie that by the time you leave, you'll want to move to Winchester. And that was probably the best compliment I ever received because I am obsessed with Winchester. I've nicknamed myself the ambassador, and I will recruit you to live here because I just love it so much. I love the arts and the architecture and the parks and the nonprofits and all of those things, and it just makes me really proud to be part of this community. And I just wanted to say that I hope that in a couple years that I can look back at this and say that this was really just me scratching the surface of the contribution that I can make to our community, because it is amazing, like everyone said before. So thank you so much.
All right, our next Holly Award is the 2022 Nonprofit of the Year. So Nonprofit of the Year Award is included for the outstanding work it's accomplished by all those organizations who, of course, love to serve our communities here throughout the top of Virginia. So to present this year's award, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for last year's Nonprofit of the Year, Winchester Rescue Mission CEO, Brandon Thomas.
I actually wrote something this time because I knew I was going to be up here. Last year I didn't think we were going to win because we were against some incredibly worthy individuals for sure. You know, I have to tell you what this award meant to us last year. The work that we do at the Winchester Rescue Mission is incredibly difficult. We face some of the toughest and most difficult situations in our community. The number one cause of homelessness is broken relationships. And oftentimes those relationships are broken because the individuals are addicted, they're mentally ill, they are extremely difficult to deal with at times, while at the same time some of the most amazing and lovable people you'll ever meet. There are moments in what we do that it's easy to want to throw in the towel and think, does anybody care? It feels like often we're fighting policies, we're fighting substance, we're fighting sickness, and it's really tough. And so often we want to throw in the towel. In fact, you may not know this, the average individual sticks around in a nonprofit like the Rescue Mission for at most usually 18 months. But most of our staff have been with us for 3 to 5 years and I've been the CEO for 7, which tells you not about the mission, it tells you about this community. This community has stood behind the Winchester Rescue Mission in a way that I still am blown away by every single day. We are never short on individuals coming behind us and helping us in moments when we're exhausted, hold our hands high to continue the work we're doing. And last year, standing on this stage, getting the award, felt like we can keep going. So for the nonprofit that wins it this year, let me tell you, if you're tired, if you're worried about the economic situation and all the fundraising we have to do to keep going, this community has your back. Absolutely. And so with that, let's see, where am I? I hit the button? Do I hit the button? What do? Okay, there we go. So with the nominees, stand as I call your name. The nominees for the Nonprofit of the Year are Literacy Volunteers, absolutely. Man, this is tough. How do you guys choose this? These are all folks we work closely with. How do you choose? All right, NW Works. I'm Just Me Movement. And Blue Ridge Hospice. All right, the envelope. Now we're going to see if my Arkansas education paid off. Literacy Volunteers of Winchester area.
Well, Brandon, we can help you with that Arkansas education. Class is starting in September. Thank you all. This is a huge honor, and despite the last time I was up here, I do have a speech, so that's a plus. The past few years have been a wild and exciting time here at Literacy. We're doing some great work that we've always done for the past almost 4 decades, but in reality, we're still a startup. Our team has under 2 years under our belt after some COVID issues, but we're stronger than ever. We have some amazing partners, and literacy is that most fundamental component in being able to understand and be understood. It's essential for individuals and families to succeed and thrive because of the support of the Chamber, this community, some amazing nonprofits we work with on a daily basis. Adults in Clark, Frederick, and the city of Winchester have greater access to the support needed to fill the gaps they've had for their lives. This last year, we expanded to help the youngest ones in our area. Through the Campaign for Grade Level Reading and Dolly Parton Imagination Library, children are able to have their own collection of books mailed to them each month. They're learning to read, and they'll start to read to learn. Quite literally, your generosity makes our work possible. On behalf of the entire Literacy Volunteers team, I'd like to thank the Chamber, the Top of Virginia community. We're deeply grateful for your help and support in this honor. I also want to congratulate all of tonight's nominees, many who we work with on a daily basis. Our fellow nonprofits, the community, the businesses in the area really help us do our job and help those in our community learn to read. Couldn't do it without my team. Pam, Amanda are here. Raina is covering classes tonight, and Jenna, our helper. The board of directors, some are here tonight, and the hundreds of others that provide guidance and support, sometimes more often than I'd like to admit. And most of all, what we do is only possible because of our dedicated volunteers. Every day, we have volunteers from this community come in and help adults. They learn to read, they learn to write, speak English, become citizens, use computers. And we couldn't do that. We couldn't pay for that. It's community members, like many of you in the room, that come in for an hour and help teach people learn to read. My favorite story, we had a gentleman come in. He was carrying a children's book. I assumed, much like the great team from Marlowe, it was a donation. We do have them all in storage, they're counted. But instead, yeah, as Pam says finally. But he came in because he wanted to read that book to his granddaughter. He had struggled for years, gotten by, had a job, but really couldn't sit there and read a simple children's book. Let me tell you, every day he came in, he worked hard with his tutor, and he was able to read that book to his granddaughter. He was beaming with pride and thanking us, but really we need to thank him for the hard work. There's stories like that and so many more. Really, we couldn't do it without this community. I'm excited to see with what we can do, the community, the chamber members, and all the good we can do in the world. Thank you so much.
All right. Next award, Citizen of the Year. Now, the Citizen of the Year award dates back all the way to 1949. It's been considered the most prestigious of the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber Awards, granted to an individual who has demonstrated high ethics, integrity, leadership, creativity, and whose actions have positively impacted the local community. We've had last year's winners presenting the awards for this year. Unfortunately, last year's Citizen of the Year, Sheriff Lenny Milholland, is sad he couldn't be with us this evening. Not as sad as Charles, of course, as we've discussed earlier. So Sheriff Lenny did record this message for us.
Hi, folks. My name is Sheriff Lenny Milholland, and I'm sorry that I'm not there this year. But for the past year, since I was awarded the Citizen of the Year from the Top of Virginia Chamber, it's been a wonderful year. I've had a blast. But now we get to pick somebody else. And I have the honor and the privilege to do that. So, like I told you last year, it was heartfelt when I got it. So this year, we have Tom Stomulus, Tina Stevens Colbreth, Jen Shea Roop, and Dr. John LaManna. So, in my hand, I have this card. And I know everybody is just counting down as to who it's going to be. And this year's winner of the Citizen of the Year is John LaManna. Dr. LaManna, I'm very proud of you. God bless you. And I hope this year is just as wonderful as it was for me. Take care and good luck.
Where's that stool?
I got you. There we go.
Yeah, that works. Thanks. Well, I'm really thankful indeed, and humble. I want to congratulate the other candidates, Jen and Tina and Tom, and all the work you did this past year. Congratulations on that. I am humble for sure, and I think mostly because as I came in the room and I looked around on a number of these people that I know and that I've worked with, is that so many people here give so much, have given so much for so long. And I want to give a shout out certainly to Cynthia and the Chamber, who bring us together, make that connection for the benefit of our region. And I want to thank you for that. And I just want to say that as the years have rolled on, I've realized that more importantly than choosing the road that you travel, it's really more important to choose who you're traveling with. And I just want to recognize that. I want to recognize my wife, Annie, who we've been married for 45 years. All right, good job. All right. And my wife Rachel is my wife Rachel. My daughter Rachel is there as well. And I share with you too, I have a son, Nick, who's our oldest. And I told him, I said, Nick, it looks like Dad is going to maybe be recognized with a possible award from the Chamber on March 30th. And he said to me, I said, what are you going to do? And he said, Dad, I'm going to Disney World. And that's a fact. He's traveling right now on the way to Disney World with his family that they planned. But those connections are indeed so very important. I do want to recognize too our friends from Timber School. I was at Timber School for 45 years. We served thousands of children, and they're still continuing to do the work. In fact, if I could put a plug in, we have a career and technical building that's going to be open within the week. So we're very proud of that as well for our young men. And also, as you know, I had the opportunity to serve as interim superintendent for the schools. There was an opportunity that I had, and I want to thank, I know Ellen White is here, and my good friend Mike Lake is here, who allowed me that privilege. And I realized what a fantastic educational program that we have in Frederick County, and in Winchester, too. So with that, I just want to say thank you, and again, the connection that we have with each other is so important for the county. So let's keep connected. And the only thing I want to say too is I am retired now, and I asked Barry Lee for some advice. I said, you know, Barry, I'm retired, what's next? He said, grow your hair long. So I did it. So I did it.
That's funny because we know like you'll never retire from everything ever. You're gonna work, and I love it. I love it. I've got my phone ready, so you know how we do our selfies. So it is time to. We're going before you speak. We are going to take another one. So the 2022 Lifetime Community Impact Award. So this honor bestowed on an individual who's demonstrated a lifetime of high ethics and integrity, leadership traits, creativity, and whose actions have positively impacted the local community. This is only the third time in history of the Greater Good Awards that this honor has been bestowed. So last year's recipient of the Lifetime Community Impact Award, and one of my best friends ever in life, Barry Lee. Okay.
Well, since receiving this honor last year, one thing that didn't change, even though that beautiful crystal award sits right where my wife can see it in the dining room, I still have to do the dishes. So that didn't change. When I retired in 2021, I knew the time was right, but one thing that I wasn't prepared for was how much I would miss that daily interaction with the radio family, the listeners. And after retiring, as the months wore on, and I'd get emails and texts and run into people at the grocery store or at community events like this, and people loved sharing their memories, whether it was the mind bender or a birthday shout out or a school closing. And I realized, you know what? I'm not separated from them. I'm going to be with them for a long time by way of memories. And that sort of brought a peace and just a feeling of being so blessed to do what I love to do for 44 years and to make those memories. And then when this award came along, it was, I don't know, it was sort of like the chamber saying thank you for those 44 years of memories. And it actually helped give me some peace and closure, and I'll forever be grateful for that. Thank you. So, for this year's Lifetime Community Impact Award, 2 names were submitted for consideration: James R. Wilkins Jr. and Q102 broadcaster Rosie Walsh. Talk about 2 human beings that personify love of community and service to community. And of course, we were heartbroken to lose Rosie in February. And in all the award categories tonight, the selection committee, they've got a difficult decision to come up with one name when all are so deserving. The decision of the selection committee for this year's Lifetime Community Impact Award is to honor both nominees. So, James R. Wilkins Jr., if you would come forward, and accepting for Rosie and her family and her fans, her morning broadcast buddy, Chris Mitchell, please come forward.
Get one of the 2 of us. Come here. Wow. Okay, so I'll go for it. Oh, ain't this fancy? Wow, she would have loved this. Tim, here's another for you. So you've heard me talk about Rosie, and I just wanted you to know, she was so proud of this community. We went to so many different things to help nonprofits and help businesses who were celebrating a moment, an opening, or a special occasion. And I would say, Rose, I'm tired. And she would say, we can do one more, we can do one more. That's who she was. She loved the community. God bless you. Thank you so much. This means so much to me, to her, and to her family. And God bless all of you. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank Chris. To share this award with Rosie is very special to me. From my Lifetime Impact Award, it's a little bit different in that really my father and my son and myself all have worked together for the last 75 years. And that is why we made an impact on the community. We have 3 generations all working tirelessly in a lot of different areas. I was just looking at the program. I was president of the Chamber of Commerce 50 years ago today. So, and that starts to put a lot of things back in perspective. I want to introduce, because we are a family and we impact the community as a family, my sister Donna Downing and her husband Bruce, if you'd stand. My son Richie Wilkins. My wife Ronnie Wilkins. Mitch Moore is not part of my family, but he is always at my desk with his hand out.
Just like a good son.
We've been very active with Shenandoah University for years. My father started Shenandoah University, and I don't plan to speak a long time, but a lot of you in the room, because I was here 50 years ago, I don't know you, and I apologize. But my father, in 1926, quit high school at the age of 16 with $250 in his pocket. Went to California, took him 2 weeks to get there, lied about his age, got a job in the oil fields building heavy equipment. Fast forward, I don't want to set it for hours, past World War II, I was born in 45, he moved here in 47, opened Wilkins Shoe Center, opening shoe stores, not your get rich quick scheme. He works 7 days a week. And I say that, I mean he works 7 days a week. He never, at nighttime, he works at drafting tables. He does all his own survey work, all his own drafting work. The guy quit high school at 16. He had an architect who would sign off on his reports. He figured anything you could do, I could do. I just have to find the book that shows me how to do it. He didn't plan to start Shenandoah University. Again, the fellow quit high school. He got together with other businessmen to build the industrial park, which is where you now see Rubbermaid and many of the plants there. In the course of checking off the kind of plants and what they were bringing in, found that it didn't have any upper education here. We had Shepherd, we had Madison State Teachers College. So I said, I'll see if I can kind of find a college for Winchester. And because he'd only been here 4 or 5 years, he happened to be president of the Chamber of Commerce. Once he found Shenandoah had gone bankrupt, he tried to raise money and move it here. He wrapped it under the Chamber of Commerce label. And there was a big billboard where the Austrian Bride Theater is, says, future home of Shenandoah College and conservatory music, sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. And that's why this young lady gets all the recognition, and she didn't do any of the work. So but fortunately, I could go on too long. My wife is already hollering for me to sit down. But really, the award is properly named as the impact. Our family, not just me, but my son, my father, our entire family, have had a lot of impact on the community. We love doing it. I wouldn't still be here doing it if it wasn't for that. But when they give you a Lifetime Achievement Award, you know you're at the end of your lifetime usually. So therefore, I'm going to shut up before I fall over. But thank you very much. Between pictures, Corey keeps going back to the bar. That's why you keep missing.
Hey everyone, I'm Cynthia Schneider with the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber, and we're today with IGM Accounting down at 124 Amherst Street, just outside of the Old Town Mall in downtown Winchester, Virginia. They're one of our newest members, and Walter's going to tell you a little bit about what they bring to us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Yes, we are here in Winchester to provide services, accounting, payroll, taxes for small businesses. Something that this town needs is Spanish supporters to support the community. The small businesses that wants to do the right thing, supporting the rules, regulations, states and local levels, and that's why we are here, to help and support our community.
Thank you for that. All right, Isabella's going to cut the ribbon for us.
All right.
Off their membership with the chamber. Say go.
Go ahead. No. All right.
Thank you. I'll take those from you.
Oh, it's not for me? Oh, okay.
Mr. Huber here, we got a lot of fun coming to the meeting. And on behalf of the chamber, we welcome you to our membership. Thank you for your services and
Thank
what
you.
we know you're going to bring to our community and our chamber.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you to all.
We're ready to get started with our program. Again, I'm Cynthia Schneider, your CEO at the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber, where we connect business and community resources for mutual success. And today is one of the ways that we do that. We are collaborating with our public school educators, specifically those that are in the career and technical education area, and some of our businesses to help you understand more about work-based learning, can do a little bit of education on what is it, and hopefully how you and your business can get involved. And if it's not for you, tell your colleagues about it. We need to develop the workforce of the future, right? And our children need hands-on experiences to really understand what career path they want to choose. So I'm going to turn this over to the experts today. Mary Beth Echevarria did better today than I usually do, but I still didn't quite get it. Mary Beth is the work-based learning coordinator, and now you're promotion. Supervisor of career and technical education for Frederick County Public Schools. She knows everything about work-based learning. She is the expert. She has to fill out all the surveys and forms that anyone has to do to keep this program running, right? I do a lot of paperwork. So she's going to introduce our panel to you today. Thanks for being here, and again, spread the word on the greatness of work-based learning.
Thank you